DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation is called "What You Ignore Disappears," and I'm gonna illustrate this point with a story I heard from this motivational speaker. He's passed away now. His name's Zig Ziglar, and he said that in the Indian culture, they had studied all these kids, these adolescents growing up in the Indian culture, and they found that none of the kids in the culture, at least at the time of this study that he was referencing, none of the kids stuttered. Nobody stuttered. There was no stuttering at all in the entire culture amongst all these kids. When he looked at American kids, you had a lot of kids who had a stuttering problem. They had to go to speech classes, and you had people who built their whole careers out of teaching kids to not stutter, and kids going to classes and programs you could buy and courses you could put them through to cure their stuttering problem. And they're studying, and the people who did the study are studying this and trying to figure out, like, why is it that American kids are stuttering but Indian kids are not stuttering? They're the same age, they're being taught similar things, even though it's in a different language and in a different culture. Why are these kids stuttering but these kids are not stuttering? And they finally came to the source of the reason, the crux of the situation. Why these kids in India were not stuttering is this: in the entire Indian language, there was no word for stuttering. So the reason that none of the kids stuttered is because none of them knew what stuttering was. The act of stuttering, as far as their experience mattered, and this is for the adults, the kids, the teachers, everybody, stuttering didn't exist because there was no word for stuttering. So the reason the American kids were stuttering, of course, there's a lot of things you could point to, but because we knew there was a possibility of stuttering. We knew it existed. In the Indian culture, nobody stuttered because they were not even aware that that was possible. So what does that have to do with you for this week's motivation? The things that you ignore, the things that you pay no attention to, the things that you ignore to the point that they might as well not even exist, will cease to exist. They will completely go away. They can't bother you. They can't hurt you. They can't help you. So this cuts both ways, right? If you have some real big muscles and you're strong in a certain area of your body, or you're strong in a certain way intellectually, you're strong in a certain way socially, emotionally, if you have some good friends, and you start completely ignoring that thing, you stop going to the weight room and lifting weights, you stop running to keep your conditioning up, your wind up, you stop paying attention to your friends and hanging out with them, you stop paying certain attention to your boyfriend or girlfriend that you used to pay attention to, you know what's going to happen? It's going to slowly go away. That relationship will go away. Those muscles will go away. That great shape you were in will go away. I'm sure many of you know about when you used to be in great shape because you used to pay attention to it all the time. When you started ignoring it for other things, whatever reason, good or bad, it went away because you completely ignored it. It's the exact same thing as the stuttering situation. When those kids didn't know stuttering existed, there was no possibility of them doing it. So you can use this to your advantage, and it can also hurt you to your disadvantage. So make sure you understand both sides of this. Anything you want to go away, whether that be negative people, whether that be negative ideas, thoughts, and memories that you have in your own head. I talked about this in the Erase the Bad Movies video. That was another weekly motivation you can go back and see. Anything that you want to get rid of, whether that be, like I said, negative people, negative environments, any place that you don't want to be around. And this could be an environment that you're in that you might not be able to get away from immediately, but if you start to ignore it, you're in the environment, but you don't become of the environment, is a better way to put it. If you have negative people around you who you had to be around for the time being, you stop paying emotional attention to those people. You stop giving them emotional payments out of your emotional bank account. They will eventually start to recede and go away. Anything that you ignore, anything that you cease to allow to exist in your mind will eventually go away from your life, and it'll be as if it never existed in the first place. You have 100% power to make this happen, and remember that it can work both ways. So make sure you're paying attention to the things that you want to keep and ignoring the things that you don't want. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here, and make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day.